What is going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 94 of Littleroot Lessons. As always, I'm your host, Carter Noble, joined by our fantastic co-host, Carl Wilkin. What's up, dude?
Not a whole lot. We are sitting here watching football on Thursday night. Chiefs are playing.
Usually, we try to record before the game's going on. And, at the tail end, I start watching it. But, this week's a little different.
Yep. We did our Christmas this week. I was already making dinner before you all got here.
Yep.
So it's like we figured we'll eat first, then record. Hopefully we're not too tired by then, and the game just happens to be on still.
Whatever. They're trying, man.
Yep.
They're driving. So
yeah, we're trying.
So what we got on the docket this week?
So our draft league is getting ready to, our signups are going on right now. We're gonna end that at the end of the month. So December 31st is your last day to get signed up. Trying to think of other things that are going on. I know the survey is going on still. If you haven't filled that out yet, go fill that out yet. I want everyone to have a chance to win a free copy of Pokemon Legends Arceus. Would love to see that go to some lucky fan.
For sure.
The Pokemon Center opened their pre-orders for that game as of today.
Tiff had already pre-ordered mine for my birthday, and I sent her the tweet and I said, okay, I know you already have this pre-ordered,
but can I get this one? Because the sitting cutie is adorable.
She's like, but I'm already getting it. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not getting the sitting
but
cutie.
But the plush comes with this one.
I need the plush.
Yeah.
She's like, well, that's too bad. I'm like, but I need it.
Well,
that's a good play.
That was a good play. I'm about to say, it's just we all just pause, turn our heads to the screen. I probably should turn it off, but
yeah, whatever, it'll be all right.
Yeah, so the sitting cutie is adorable. I haven't pre-ordered my copy yet. I was actually debating on just getting a digital copy, but if I get the Pokemon Center pre-order, I can get the plush.
I cannot imagine they're not sold out already.
As of when I went to look at it last, they still had them in stock.
Interesting.
So.
Interesting.
There was also a restock on a bunch of the other random sitting cuties here lately, which was cool.
I know Angelo picked up his Mammo.
I love mine.
That's from when we went to Collinsville?
Yep.
I know our buddy Ryan. No, it was you who went and bought the Mimikyu from the judge, right?
Yeah. Yep, that was me too. It's sitting over there somewhere. You can find it. There it is. It's in the back corner behind you.
Oh, behind me?
Yeah.
Oh, I see it now. It's over on
my wife's desk. Yeah. It's cute. Anywho, the idea here is to maybe get a sneak peek. We haven't started the tier list yet. Evan is finishing that up. Hopefully we can start working on that this week.
He's had a lot of stuff going on here in the last couple weeks, and we told him, we're like, hey, when you get to it, cool. Otherwise, I'm not really worried about it, and beautiful play again.
Just watch. You can tell when there's a play happening. Carter's head turns.
I don't know what you're talking about. Look, man, Mahomes is a wonderful player to watch. There is no player I would rather watch. He's so.
He's got
athletic.
to walk that one 20, 30 yards. No one even really got it.
Not even close, man. It's like, hey, well, bye, guys. So, draft league stuff. Yep. We're going to talk about underrated things that are going on that people should probably look out for.
Yeah, I was like, there's some things that I think are really good. There's some things that you think are probably really good.
So let's see. This is going to be Sinnoh Dex. So 493 Pokemon minus Mythicals minus Restricteds. Brings us to,
And we're not sure on, Raikou, Entei, the sub-legends yet or not.
Okay.
We're thinking about cutting those guys as well, just playing, a fair and square Sinnoh version.
Gotcha. So, until, obviously we narrow that down, assume those are there, but nothing is confirmed yet, because...
That's something to be voted on by the community, so when we have all of our signups in, that's something we'll pull the trigger on.
Yep. So, that leads to... My thought process is anytime I'm starting, draft process, one of the first things I want to look at is, all right, what kind of Intimidators are available in this format? So, fully evolved Intimidators, you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. With access to 6 more.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, so almost everyone in a pool would get one.
And if you're counting not fully evolved mons,
everyone will get one in some shape or fashion.
I'm assuming we're doing 12 league or 16
man pods are the max, yes.
So, that being said, not all Intimidators are created equal.
That's for sure.
Comparing Arbok and Gyarados are not the same.
Yeah. Masquerain and Stantler aren't Salamence and Hitmontop.
Mightyena he's there.
Yeah, Mawile is there.
He's so scary.
So a couple Intimidators that come to mind immediately that are really underappreciated probably are Granbull, and Tauros. Staraptor's another one. Those 3 stick out to me as just underrated Intimidators.
You haven't even talked about my favorite one on this list. Luxray.
I wouldn't call Luxray in this format. It's not underrated.
I would agree with that.
In this format, it's a known quantity for sure.
My thought process is very very similar to Hitmontop and Gyarados and Salamence. These do things outside of Intimidate.
Yeah.
Whereas things like Granbull, Arcanine, you technically could do things with them.
You can do rattled Granbull things.
I was literally looking at it.
That is a thing you can do.
Don't judge me. I was literally looking at it.
Let's see here. How fast do you get?
Very slow. You're base 45.
You can go Jolly to 106.
So with Scarf, you get to 150, 159?
Yep, 159. That ain't bad.
It's not good.
Well, I mean, when there's only...
That's not rattled boosted yet.
Yeah, no, if you get rattled, you just I'm gonna click beat up on this Pokemon.
Yeah.
Now I don't have to put any speed investment at all. I'm just colossal.
So that's actually kind of where this started. I think it was in the DPEC server. Someone mentioned that Bonsley gets rattled.
Yes.
So then we started looking and we're like, oh, Sudowoodo's the same speed tier as Colossal. Clearly, that means
we can build our own Colossal. Is that what we're getting at?
I mean, you are just as fast. You can get to 360.
Yeah. But you're not doing the damage.
And the good thing is you don't need to get to 360 because nothing's going to be that fast.
Yeah.
So, looking at Intimidators, I think there are some really interesting ones like you've mentioned. I love Tauros. I think Tauros is very, very underappreciated. I think it has a lot of potential to do some very threatening things. Its move pool is obscurely good because it's a Gen 1 mon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it just has access to anything and everything you can think of.
Yeah.
Let's see. Just quickly looking here. Ice Beam and Blizzard, Surf, Thunder, and Thunderbolt. Obviously, you probably don't want to play Special Tauros because
you're not.
Special attack is 40.
Abysmal. Abysmal is the word you're looking for.
So if you look at physical coverage, you have access to Double Edge, Earthquake, Facade is obviously very good as well. Iron Tail, Rock Slide, Stone Edge, Zen Headbutt, which is actually really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I know in Sword and Shield it had access to Icy Wind, but I'm not seeing that now. So instead you get Rock Tomb.
Okay.
Granted, it's single target, but it's also using your physical attack and not your special attack. And when it comes to 40 versus 100, that's a very big difference.
That's a big difference.
So I definitely appreciate a good Tauros. Another one that I was looking at, just because again, kind of its move pool is kind of all over the place, and as a result, you can do some really cool things. Arbok.
Yeah. We've talked about Arbok a little bit when we were doing our tier list, just looking at what Arbok had. Arbok is one of the more interesting Intimidators, I would feel like. Mainly due to the fact that it's just like it's still at a decent speed tier for draft leagues at like 80. I would consider 80 to the 130s in your fast category in the draft league, whereas anything
I would say like 100 to 130 is fast, and like 80 to 100 is like fast enough.
Well, when there's only 3 130s in the format, you like. I would consider anything within 50 points of that. Anything that's within a Scarf's reach is fast, which technically that's base 75. Is what would be fast in this format. Whereas anything under probably like 60 or 50 base fit speed would be slow. So Arbok's still in a decent range. You can do Scarf things and try to come up with ways to like catch your opponent off guard, get a cheeky glare off, or use like haze to remove all these stat boosts that are super duper popular in this format. You get access to Switcheroo.
Yep.
So you can do like Scarf Switcheroo things.
Fun fact, I've been toying with the idea of playing beat up Arbok next to Dunsparce.
Are you doing more rattled stuff?
Yes, that was the idea.
Okay.
And like the fact that like I can be Scarf beat up to outspeed everything else, and if that's not a good enough plan, I can just trick away my choice Scarf.
Yeah.
It's like that's really absurdly powerful.
You could do stockpile like bulky Arbok things with stockpile. That's always something you can look at doing. You don't have the greatest defenses, but a +3 defense on your Arbok next to like a redirector is fairly decent, especially since you already are intimidating them. You also can do coil things.
What they need to do is bring back Gen 1 Wrap.
No, you don't. You don't want
why
that.
do you hate fun?
You don't want that. Trust me, I play Gen 1 stuff all the time. You don't want that. You get like Disable, which is unique on an Intimidate mon.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot going for Arbok specifically. You get, like I said, you get Coil, so you can like do a lot with these lower accuracy stuff like Iron Tail or
Gunk Shot. Gunk Shot's a very good one.
Yeah, Gunk Shot's a real good one that has just kind of crappy accuracy, and if you just get one Coil off,
like when we were talking about Rotom last week, a couple weeks back,
something like that.
It's like, man, the difference between 120-80 and 110-90 is huge.
Yeah.
So being able to go 120-100 seems really powerful.
Yeah.
Granted, one coil's not going to get to you to 100% accurate, but
if I remember correctly, one Coil gets your Iron Tails to hit like 95% of the time.
Which Iron Tail is 70%?
75%.
So that would mean that Gunk Shot should be close to 100%?
Yeah, Gunk Shot's close to 100, if I remember right.
So, I mean, yeah, Coil Gunk Shot seems real powerful because then you're +1 and it's stab and it's 120.
It's a 120 and you can poison them and just do all that fun stuff. So yeah, there's a lot that Arbok can do. Another one, like I know I just harped on Masquerain. Masquerain is weird though because it's got a lot of speed control options because it's in that bug category.
Uh-huh.
So you have like Sticky Web and Whirlwind, and you can just force people out.
Don't we also get Quiver Dance?
Yes. You can Quiver Dance people. You have Roost for recovery. You can U-turn out if you ever need to. You have Stun Spore.
This sounds like worse Dustox.
Dustox doesn't have Intimidate.
Which is like the one selling point. You also have Soak.
Yeah.
Which is just absurdly weird.
You get access to Mud Shot, which is kind of cute. You get access to like Fell Stinger boosts. You can go nuts with that. If you're looking to do like physical Masquerain things.
You can also Baton Pass, like Quiver Dance, Baton Pass, just get them.
Like, that's like the perfect setup, right? It's like you Baton Pass.
You intimidate them.
Like, you get the Intimidate off. You get to switch out with Baton Pass after a Quiver Dance. Whoever comes up into that is boosted, and then you get to switch Masquerain back in and intimidate them again.
Man, I really want to go back and play some more Volpe. That team was so fun. It was not good, but it was definitely fun. Chiefs are going to overtime for those who are curious.
Yep. You also get defog isn't as big of a thing in this format. I don't feel like we don't have to worry about hazards too much.
You say that, but hazards are definitely the reason I won against the E4 today.
Yeah, and that's like singles in E4. Like that's normal.
Literally to break Sturdy on Golem and to break Focus Sash on Infernape. The only reason I needed it.
Yep. And that's fine for like singles and doubles. It's just it doesn't do as much.
Yeah, for sure. Like the -1 to evasion is really awkward because it can like proc like competitive or defiant. So like that's something that you see in singles occasionally. It's like, all right, I set up my hazards. You have your defogger out. Here's my defiant user.
Here's my defiant monitor. Here's my primate. Here's my melodic. Here's my Wigglytuff. Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Just get them that way. So like Masquerade's not awful.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I'm sure I'm gonna regret that, but
it's not bad compared to some of these. It's not bad. Stantler's another one I really, really like.
Stantler's, dude, it kind of fits in that same category as like, okay, it's not Salamence.
No,
but like it has that same kind of niche utility where like all three of its abilities are relevant.
Yep.
Granted, Salamence only has 2, but like it and Gyarados have the same 2, and both of them are very good for the exact same reason.
Yeah, they filled the same role, just with different typings. Whereas Stantler's like all of its abilities matter. Now it doesn't have great stats. Its stats are very mediocre across the board.
Do we have a special typed Intimidator? Can you...
What do you mean?
Go back up and can you sort by special attack? That's really awkward.
Yeah, so like the top 3 special attackers are Salamence, Arcanine, Masquerain.
And the top 2 have a higher attack.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't realize Masquerain's special attack was that high.
Yeah.
It's really awkward.
Tauros is the fastest Intimidator at 110.
And then Salamence, because base 600 is absurd.
and then Granbull is the slowest at 45 base.
Yep, I did know that one. Mawile is slightly faster. What other... Like, unless you want to go back and talk about Stantler for a second.
The big things on Stantler was just like your access to some really good like utility moves. You also have a good access to like all the bug moves you could ever want.
I really wish Stantler was like normal bug or like normal grass. Like just give it Deerling and Sawsbuck's typing.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Like you get Hypnosis and Imprison. Skill Swap is kind of cool. I
feel like everything...
You could also do Entrainment.
You can Entrainment your ally to put on Intimidate on them to get an additional Intimidate off.
That's kind of cool.
Is it good?
Probably not.
But it's cool.
You get Thunderwave and Roar.
That's actually really interesting. Another Facade user. Like, I feel like
you get both screens. This is an Intimidator that can set screens.
How many of those do we have?
Not very many.
I don't think any, actually.
Let's find out.
Intimidate. Light Screen. Luxray and Stantler.
Just Stantler.
Weird. It's really weird that they only have...
Granbull gets Reflect.
So Granbull gets Reflect, Luxray gets
Light Screen, and then Stantler gets both.
Weird.
That is interesting.
That is really cool.
So like, you have cool Intimidators in this format. There are some nifty things going on. Other things I like to look at when I'm thinking of Draft League, Evan mentioned this. He always tries to draft his fantasy core first early on because it's such a powerful like core. And one of the issues with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is your lack of fairy types.
I was gonna say the lack of dragons.
Dragons or whatever. Like,
well, especially if we're cutting out like legendaries, you lose Latios and Latios.
Yeah. So
your dragons become Salamence, Kingdra, Garchomp, Flygon, Dragonite, Altaria.
Yeah. Like, but if you think about it in a 16-player group, that's 6 out of the 16. That ain't bad.
If you're adding it not fully evolved, 3 people are still not getting one.
But so like when you think about fantasy quests, I always think of Steel and Fairy being the strongest of the two, because Dragon's whatever. Dragon is just like a good resistant to everything that's not Steel or Fairy. Like,
all right,
that's what it does.
How many fully evolved fairy types can you name?
Gramble, Togekiss, Wigglytuff, Gardevoir.
You're missing another Intimidator.
Mawile.
Yep.
Trying to think back of all the fairies. Clefable.
Yep. You're missing 2, I think.
2 more?
Yep.
I'm about to say, I know I'm only missing a couple.
Yep, 2.
Mr. Mime.
1.
And then I'm trying to go back and think about like what they added fairy typing to. I'm probably not going to get this one. I can sit here forever and just think about it.
You'd be able to.
Oh, it's a Zoomerl.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna say you'd get there eventually.
Yeah.
Man, Azu's so good.
Azu's good in like normal formats. I don't know how good it is in actually going to be in like a draft league where like you only get 1 Togekiss.
That's very true. How many redirectors do we have?
So we're looking for Rage Powder or Follow Me.
Follow Me, I have 5 fully evolved, and then 5 additional as well, so 10 Follow Me users.
I have 13 Rage Powder users.
Ariados gets Rage Powder.
Yeah.
That's sick. I did not know that.
Carnivine's kind of interesting too.
That one I've ran into. I ran into Carnivine, ran into Jumpluff, Parasect, Tangrowth. Didn't realize Venomoth got it. Not really surprised to see that.
Yeah, that's kind of not surprising. Ariados is like the cool thing that gets it, but then like Ariados has no good abilities and no good stats. So...
What do you mean it has insomnia? Okay, speaking of insomnia,
oh,
I messaged you this last night. Delibird got shafted on abilities.
It's game over? Game's over.
I think so, yeah.
Yep, game's over.
I'm pretty sure that TD will do us in.
Yep, that's game. That'll be game.
Good job, Kelsey.
Good job. Chiefs win. Woo!
So, Delibird got shafted. So, like, obviously it has Hustle, which can be very good. But it also has Vital Spirit and Insomnia. Why did they give them the same ability twice?
Because it's Santa Claus.
But
Santa Claus. That's all you need to know.
But I just don't get it.
It's Santa Claus.
It got shafted.
Santa Claus. What else would you give it? Yeah, exactly.
Give me a minute. No. I'm going to go look through.
We ain't got time for that. So fairies, there's a decent chunk, right? Like you can...
There's 8, I think. 8 fully evolved ones is what I came up with.
So yeah, there's a decent chunk of fairies. Like
and
about half, just under half the teams are going to have a good fantasy core.
I was going to say I would consider like all the fully evolved ones to be viable in draft league.
Yeah.
Obviously on the lower end you have like Mawile, but it still is an Intimidator, still is a Steel type. Like those are both relevant things.
We may not have Eviolite anymore, but like Togetic and Clefairy are still decent draft league mons.
Yeah. They're not the worst. Just put like
just invest all in bulk.
Yeah, you'll
take a couple hits. That's about it. Friend Guard is still a good ability.
Can confirm. As the guy who has Jigglypuff in draft league, can confirm.
Friend Guard is still a good ability. These not fully evolved like Clefairy, Jigglypuff, and Togetic are still going to be good.
Agreed.
Now, are things like Togepi, Snubble, Ralts, Mime Jr., Igglybuff, all of these going to be played? Probably not.
Snubble is technically another Intimidator. That's like scraping the bottom of the barrel, but technically it does have some type of utility.
Yes, technically.
Is that the best? No. Would I rather have any of the other 10 Intimidators?
I would rather take Mawile.
Same.
I would rather take Mawile. The other limiting factor for those fantasy cores are like steel types.
Mm-hmm.
And there's plenty of those.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a billion steel types.
They're not very good. That's the issue. Is we don't have any really good steel types. We have a handful of decent ones, and then there's a lot of just mediocre things I wouldn't want to play in my on my draft team.
So like looking here, ignoring Heatran and Jirachi, I would say probably the best steel type is obviously Scizor.
Yeah, like Scizor is one of the better steel types for sure.
After that, it comes down to like what you're trying to do, because like Bronzong's obviously very good, having the amount of bulk it has access to, and like the utility that Bronzong has as a support Pokemon is very good. If you want to go a little more offensive, you have access to like Lucario, which can be good. Like Lucario can be built however you want. It can be physical or special, and that's like very unique to steel types.
Yeah, special steel types are hard to come by.
Metagross can also be very good. Having access to Clear Body, being a physical mon that can't be intimidated is very good. Stab Bullet Punch still hurts.
Yep.
Steelix has Sheer Force, so like it can do a ton of damage. Obviously, you need like some type of speed control, most likely Trick Room for Steelix to properly work, but that is something you can do. Same with like Probopass. Having a especially offensive steel type is really interesting, while also just being a complete wall. Yeah,
Probopass is real good as a wall. You can go ask Evan.
And like having access to Magnet Pull is another one that's really interesting. Just potentially trapping in your opponent just means, all right, we're gonna sit here forever.
Yep,
one of us is going
anywhere
to get KO'd, and it's not gonna be me.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be the one that has 150 special defense and is holding leftovers.
Yeah. One of the interesting steel types left in the format is Empoleon. This being this water steel type. It's not the greatest, like utility wise. You can't really utilize Defiant that well. It's harder to do in a draft league than it is in in a normal VGC league where like you see Intimidate at least once or twice a match. Opponents will kind of just play around that usually anyway because Empoleon's other ability is Torrent. Like you're not beating anybody probably with a Torrent Empoleon a ton of times.
I have looked into like playing Fortress. I was looking at playing Fortress as a potential counter to Breloom in the early days, because having access to Overcoat is interesting. Just so like you can ignore Rage Powder, so you can like potentially set up KOs on opponents through Rage Powder. You're also more immune to Spore, so like you can potentially KO the Breloom while it's trying to spore you, and like you have a free switch in as well, because like grass types aren't that great in the BDSP format as a whole. So like being able to potentially have a mon that is immune to these spore moves is very good. So that's something I messed around with in the early days and found it wasn't that great. I see there's a Bastiodon on your screen, Carl.
So one of the cool things about Bastiodon is its other ability is soundproof. So Substitute, the only way people usually get through Substitutes is either breaking your Substitute or hitting you with sound-based moves. Guess what you can't do if they're soundproof?
Today I learned Bug Buzz is considered a sound-based move.
Yes, it is.
I know this because I set up a Substitute against Aaron and his Dustox still hit me. I see what you're doing, and I don't like it.
I see what's going on here.
Luckily, I'm an Infernape, and you did 6 damage.
This is another one of those bulky stall mons that, like, you don't have to put any kind of investment into. You eventually just get there with, like, Curse or whatever, and it could be something interesting to look at.
For sure. Like, you're not...
Like, in a draft league format...
doing a lot of damage.
In a draft league format, it's just like, this thing is just going to set up in front of you, and eventually you have to either break it or it breaks you. Like that's the end goal, is one of these two has to go. And it works a lot like Probopass. It's like you get to set up a Substitute, you have really good defenses, you get to tank a ton of hits, you're not doing a ton of damage. Unfortunately, it's not exactly like Probopass. Probopass still has Body Press, which is what makes Probopass really, really good. Whereas Bastiodon kind of just has to like Iron Head and Curse and kind of hope to get there eventually.
So
that is fantasy cores out of the way. You want to talk about fire, water, grass cores?
I was actually going to. We talked about Rage Powder. We didn't ever really touch on Follow Me.
I mean, the Follow Me users are fairly obvious, right?
There's actually some really absurd ones.
Are you talking like Pachirisu and Lucario?
I was talking about Furret.
Oh, we already knew about that one too. We talked about that one.
Have we?
Yeah, like way back when,
because
you got beat by it
twice.
Yeah,
and it's actually like really interesting. Obviously, I don't think it's that good, but like it is another Follow Me user that you could use in this format.
Like Follow Me plus Frisk, man, that just seems.
It's really cool. It's really, really cool.
What other? We get Coil.
Why do you get Coil?
Because you're long. You can coil into a ball.
Long Furret is long.
So you can coil and then baton pass it.
That's cool.
You get.
You can sub punch people.
Yep.
You can also sucker punch people.
You can trick people. You can U-turn.
Yeah, Furret's sick.
Baby doll eyes. Like that's like essentially just intimidate.
Basically. It costs your attack for the turn, but it's intimidate.
Yeah. Helping Hand's
Helping
cool.
Hand is one I ran into. Reversal's also really interesting.
Yeah.
Like just take a hit and then smack them back.
So yeah, this is definitely something you don't want to sleep on as a Follow Me user.
Do I think it's the best? No.
No, that prize belongs to Togekiss probably.
Yeah, Togekiss, Clefable.
Like those two are just like heads and shoulders above the rest of these for the most part when it comes to Follow Me specifically.
I'm really glad they gave it back to Lucario.
Yeah, same.
I wish they would have also given it to Blastoise.
The only reason they did it because it was a event only move.
Wasn't Lucario as well?
I'm not sure about Lucario. I know the Blastoise was an event only thing.
Yeah, I thought Lucario was as well. I could be very wrong.
I don't know who would know.
Internet. Follow me, Lucario. Do.
So apparently he got it in Sun and Moon.
Yeah, it's because Pachirisu or Furret were never in Sword and Shield.
Yeah, so you could never get it that way.
Interesting.
Neat.
That's really cool.
But then there's no way to breed it on Blastoise. Which is why Blastoise didn't get it.
So just give it to it in its move pool.
No, that's way too much work.
It's removing withdraw from it.
No, way too much
You're
work.
right. That's actually
That's this thing. Like it's a turtle. Turtles aren't known to wag their.
So get rid of Curse. It doesn't need Curse.
Yeah,
it can learn
does.
Curse.
It needs Curse.
No.
Yeah.
You have withdraw. It's just better.
No, Curse is better.
Alright, so
we've touched on redirection, we've touched on intimidate, we touched on our fantasy core. We could talk about fire, water, grass, or we can go and look at some other like niche utility things like prankster or some other stuff like that. Which way do you want to go first?
Well, I did mention how bad grass types were. Let's see how desperate people are going to be scraping for the bottom of the barrel here.
So grass types in the format, there's plenty. There's plenty of grass types.
There are.
The reason grass types are bad in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl is more due to the fact that they're bad in the VGC format.
That's very true.
Like, the draft format is a completely different beast where you're not running into Sizer and Arcanine every single game. You know?
Right, you're just going to be running into them, once and or twice, depending on...
The maximum you'll run into them is probably twice. So, like, Breloom's really good. Abomasnow's probably decent. Carnivine can be a decent grass type. Cradili's got Storm Drain. Executor can be a Sunmon. Jumpluff gets, like, Chlorophyll and Infiltrator. Ludicolo obviously can be played on rain teams. Parasect can be played, like, as a great counter to rain teams. Roseraide's really good. Sceptile, Rotom-Mow. Like, there's decent grass types in this format still.
Yeah, it's actually better than I anticipated. Like, when I'm building my teams, it's just like, man, I don't want to play with any of these. So...
And that's partly due to the fact that just, like, almost every team is running Arcanine, Scizor, and like some like flying or ice coverage somewhere to do something. Like Cresselia has Ice Beam and Latios has Ice Beam. Gastrodon's carrying Ice Beam. Like there's just so much incidental coverage to beat up grass types. That's why they feel so weak. In a draft league format, it's going to be a little bit easier to play with these guys.
For sure. Eggy is still great.
Yep. Like
I absolutely love Exeggutor.
Best grass type of the format probably is in this draft league format is probably like either Breloom or Tangrowth.
I wouldn't sleep on Rotom grass. I know like Leaf Storm is obviously not great, but Rotom is still Rotom, and its move pool is pretty dang good overall.
Like the big things for like Tangrowth is like it's Rage Powder, Sleep Powder, Bulky, things like that. And then, like, Breloom obviously is just, like, bug fighting. It's real powerful. Can be decently fast. Has Technician, Boosted Bullet Seed, and Spore, and all that fun stuff to play with.
Shiftry's another interesting one. Having access to Fake Out is also a potential, like, Chlorophyll user. Pickpocket's interesting, so you can, like, potentially steal your opponent's items. Like, it's fine. Same with, like, Ludicolo. Ludicolo's, like, the complete opposite of Shiftry. You want to play in rain, which also helps you out because you're not weak to fire, but it is a neutral hit. Whereas with Shiftry, you're boosting opposing fire types.
Yeah, you're gonna get blown up.
It's like that is something to think about.
We do get Chlorophyll Leafeon too.
I've tried it. It was very okay. Granted, that was in Sword and Shield. Dynamax formats are very different than these formats we're playing now, so Leafeon could be fine.
What do we have in the way of physical grass coverage? We have Leaf Blade. I think that's it. And Bullet Seed.
Yep. It's
Razor
not
Leaf.
great. It is not great.
So we can do like fast Leaf Blade things.
Yeah, Leaf Blade's not terrible.
Scope Lens, Chlorophyll, Leaf Blade them.
Do we get Swords Dance?
Yes.
Interesting.
We also get like Detect, Leech Seed, Iron Tail, something interesting.
I
X Scissor.
It was in one of the first draft leagues we did. I think I dropped Leafeon for Vileplume.
Ah.
And it was just like, man, Leafeon was really, really mediocre. Because like I was trying to Steel Spike people and Quake people. It was just not working.
Moving on to fire types, there's some really good fire types, and then there's some not so good fire types. Obviously, you're not wanting to play the likes of, like, Macargo very often. Fire types are really, like, lacking in this gen, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's only 14 fire types. Not everyone will get a fire type unless they want to draft NFEs.
And like the NFE fire mons are really not great.
Yeah. There's
your best one is probably Vulpix because it has access to Drought.
There's Vulpix and Growlithe. Those are like the only two.
What do you mean? There's Slugma.
No. Growlithe and Vulpix are probably the best ones. Mainly due to the fact that they have Intimidate and Drought, respectively.
Houndour has Flash Fire?
It's
not good.
That means nothing.
It's a counter to the opposing fire types, Carl.
When it's just not that good.
Yeah, it's not.
So one of my tip, here's the secret tip. Prioritize your fire type early.
Here's the secret tip. Play Blaziken. Blaziken's really good in limited formats. It's not, but I want it to be.
We want it to be good.
Please.
Camera could be interesting as a fire type in this format.
For sure.
Solid Rock is just a real good ability. You don't have to worry about everyone playing the same water types over and over and over and over and over.
This is not the first conversation I've had about
Camera. I know. I'm well aware, trust me. I am well aware.
Were you counting Entei in your counting?
No.
Okay. And Heatran, I'm assuming, as well?
Yep, not counting it.
Cool.
If we do add those, there will be enough.
I honestly think we probably could, just because, like, my first thought process here is that, like, adding them in allows for more types of mons to be playable. Like, you're adding in more mons to be able to be played. and that as a result is going to make teams more diverse.
18. There's 18 Pokemon that are classified as sub-legends.
That's not the worst.
One of them is Regigigas.
That one's pretty good last time I checked.
So it's like, if we let one in, we might have to keep an eye on Regigigas. People can just do it slacking, though. Like, slacking wheezing is just still...
It's fine.
Yeah. Heatran's obviously real powerful, and like there's some that are better than others. I think Raikou is just like top tier. If we're playing with these, if Raikou doesn't go in like the first 3 picks, I'd be very, very surprised.
Raikou's really good, man.
Like, one weakness, really fast in this format, like gets to just do a whole lot of good utility things, snarl, screens, all that fun stuff.
I wish Air Balloon existed.
Same.
Like, I think the 2 items I miss the most are Air Balloon and Assault Vest.
Air Balloon, safety goggles.
I think that one would be fine. I don't miss Weakness Policy.
I don't miss it either.
So that's
I like being able to hit people with my super effective attacks.
That's one of the big perks of playing RTT is like Weakness Policy is banned. So it's just like I get to play Sword and Shield without Weakness Policy, and it's great. You need to knock that off. It's too early for that.
Early?
I still have to drive home.
Yeah, it's your fault. That's your problem.
That is my problem.
We'll probably never let restricteds in. I was just like looking through. I was like, we'll never let these guys in.
I think the restricteds are. I think there's just not enough.
Yeah, there's
that's
8,
the thing. Is there's just not enough.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9. If you want to count Mewtwo. No one wants to pick this thing.
But like, you say that, but if you were to add it into the
draft league, everyone would play it. Yeah,
exactly.
Because it's just a better psychic type than like
Alakazam.
Yeah. What do we got for water types? Water types
they're a dime a dozen, man.
Very plentiful. I feel like.
Man, can we make Manaphy and Jirachi legal?
No.
How about Mew?
No.
How about all 3 of them?
No.
Carl, you're being anti-fun.
No. Obviously there's water types that are better than the rest. Think like Gyarados, Kingdra, Milotic. Feraligator's really, really cool in Draft League.
Feraligator's cool in general.
Rotom Wash obviously is very powerful. You get things like Politoed and Pelipper. Gorbis and Huntail can do some cool Swift Swim things. Ludicolo obviously is just like this is a double threat for water and grass.
Okay, can we add Fion?
No.
Carl, it's base 80s.
No.
That's fair. Tailglow's still really good.
Yes. I know. Gastrodon, Dugong's really good. My secret sleeper pick, I've been telling people this for like weeks. Freaking don't sleep on Lumineon. Dude, Do not sleep on this thing.
So in my Nuzlocke, I had my Gastrodon, and it was sticky hold. So I'm just like, well, this is awkward. This is awful. And then my Quagsire was damp. It's like, why can't I just get a water type immune? So that's when I started looking. I'm like, oh, Finneon gets Storm Drain. This is stupid.
Yeah.
This is great.
So what makes...
And then I literally never used it.
What makes Lumineon great is it's a base 91 speed. With Swift Swim means you can outspeed everything like in rain with no investment. Mm-hmm. And then you have okay stats otherwise, but like your support pool is insane. You get access to Tailwind on this thing.
I did not actually know that.
Yeah, I've been telling people that this is my secret Tailwind setter. Like, if this thing goes undrafted, I'll probably pick it up. Like,
you're gonna play this next to Pelipper.
Yeah.
And they don't know who's gonna set Tailwind.
Exactly. Obviously you have U-Turn, Bounce, Fuse Ray, Charm.
Normal water type things. Safeguard's obviously very cool.
Soak's really cool.
Psych Up can actually be usable.
Yeah.
I've ran into my fair share of Simple Beam Psych Up things. And every time it happens, like in team preview, I'm like, I know there's something going on, I just don't know what.
I don't know what it's doing, yeah.
And then it happens, I'm like, I am very dead.
So yeah, like Lumineon is like my secret Tailwind tech. If no one picks it up, I'll probably grab it.
Now they're going to. Now they
exactly.
told them.
Exactly. They get in their head now. So now they have to pick it. So now I can pick something better.
Like, thanks. You just gave me. You gave me Pelipper. Nice Luminion. Idiot.
Don't mind me breaking into my Christmas candy.
It's not even Christmas.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah, that's fair. Very, very fair. Another mon that has access to Facade.
Yeah.
Not actually surprised.
Me either. Floatzel is something that's really cool.
It's just fast.
I mean, being fast in a draft league format is good. Mm-hmm. Especially when you have, like, over 100 attack on this thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, you don't have to worry about getting hit if you're just faster than everything.
You just KO things, you don't have to worry about being dead.
Yeah. You get access to bulk up, which is cool.
Mm-hmm. You can also sub-punch people.
Yep.
As a man who's tried, it's not good. Don't play it in doubles.
You get Switcheroo and Taunt, so that's cool stuff to have. You get access to Roar.
I actually didn't know it had access to Switcheroo. That's an interesting one.
It got access to a lot of dark moves. I feel like this thing should have been dark in water. Could have easily convinced me that otherwise.
Yeah, but then it's like stepping on Sharpedo's feet.
And no one cares about Sharpedo.
I care about Sharpedo.
No, you don't. Quit lying.
It looks cool.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
My previous point still stands. It looks cool.
No, it doesn't.
It's fine. Its Mega's pretty trash.
Yeah. Also, another fast soak user. Pair this with a good electric type, just blow people up.
Yeah, you pair this with Rotom Mow, and they never know what's going to hit them.
Exactly.
Could be a Thunderbolt, could be a Leaf Storm.
You wanted to play a Lightning Rod? Gotcha.
Idiot. Got him.
Fast Rock Tomb's also good on this thing.
Yeah, Rock Tomb's a sick move, man.
What other water moves do we get? Oh, water types do we have here?
We kind of touch on Blastoise.
I think Blastoise is like super underrated.
I still do too. B-Barrel can do simple. It can do simple sword stance things. That's the best I got. I almost died to one. In the wild air. It was in the underground.
Uh-oh.
It went for sword dance, and I couldn't run away.
Oh no.
And then it had Aqua Jet as well.
Oh god.
It's like, this is terrifying.
This thing's gonna kill me.
Mind you, it was simple. So, like, I almost died very quickly.
Kabutops.
What about it?
One of the better physical swift swimmers we have, probably.
Yeah, you have it. You have
Floatzel, like we talked about. Kabutops I think just has better, like, physical coverage.
Give Kingler Swift Swim.
No. Please, no.
Sure Force is good, but what if it was Swift Swim?
You would have no damage output.
That's fine.
That's fine.
It doesn't need to hit hard when it looks cool.
Poor Lapras just does nothing.
I can't remember who it was, but they were saying that Lapras is a big sleeper pick in this format. I'm just like, what are you seeing that I'm not? Like, Water Absorb's fine.
Like, one of the only Pokemon to get access to Freeze Dry is kind of cool.
Is that accurate?
It's one of the only Pokemon. It's like, there's like a small handful. Like, that's it.
Huh.
And one of them's may not even be played. Like, Articuno's like, And then there's Delibird, Glaceon, Glalie, Lapras, Mamoswine. This is where it comes from. The line gets it from Mamoswine.
Yeah, I think Mamoswine has to breed it onto Glalie, which then breeds it onto Delibird, which breeds it onto Lapras.
I believe that is the line, yes.
That's dumb.
That's a chain. Can you find Lapras in the underground? That would save a lot of headaches if so. Because the underground mons can have a chance for egg moves.
I'm going to do some digging.
Which, if it can't, then it's whatever. You can just do the whole breed chain thing, get it to where you're on the Delibird, and then just go from there. But yeah, I just don't see what Lapras does in this draft league format that's actually, like, good.
Dragon Dance.
No, that is not it.
I tried, man.
Like, you have Perish Song, and...
Alright, Lepra, where are you?
Horn Drill. like sheer cold, like you're gonna Oko. It gets fissured too. Just Oko Lapras.
Victory Road.
As like just like a random mon or
10% chance.
Neat.
Not Dex area basement 1F.
Okay.
There you go. I found your Lapras.
We found the Lapras. Let's talk about Prankster.
What about them?
You know,
5 of them.
All 5 of them. So there's obviously good ones.
Yeah, Volbeat's great.
Illumine's is also great. Sableye's good.
There's the rest of them.
Murkrow's fine.
Murkrow's okay.
In a draft league format, Murkrow's better than like your random Tailwind user that's not got Prankster.
Riolu exists.
I don't know what Riolu's gonna do for you.
Copycat.
Too bad coaching isn't in the game.
Man, I wish it was. It'd be playable.
This thing would be nuts, right?
It gets Iron Defense. Carl, you have priority Iron Defense.
Oh,
what are
boy.
you talking about?
We get priority...
Do we get Baton Pass?
I didn't see it.
Dumb.
We get priority Howl.
That's interesting.
And then technically +3 follow me?
So you can technically use it before Fake Out?
If you're faster than the Fake Out mod?
That's not the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
But you're also like base 60, so you'd have to be like all speed plus some?
Scarf Prankster. Get him.
I feel like that's not what you want to be doing.
Yeah, but Carl, you can get him.
Prankster Endure, which is kind of cute.
Who needs a Focus Sash when you have Endure?
Exactly.
Isn't Endure already raised
I think it's only +1. So this puts the +2.
So you can't get before follow me.
You can't get bullet punched.
You can't get redirected.
Get him. Quick Guard's kind of cute, right? It does have Rain Dance and Sunny Day. Like if you need a weather setter, you have those at your disposal.
Yeah, but like so does Sableye.
Well, I'm saying like if they're gone, I believe Sableye doesn't get Rain Dance.
I believe it only gets Sunny Day.
Murkrow gets both. Remember, right?
I believe that's correct because we were looking at it.
Yeah, Murkrow gets Rain Dance and Sunny Day.
Cool.
And Quash.
Prankster Quash, too good.
It's good in Draft League. I'll tell you that right now.
Like any of the Prankster, like Thunder Wave, any of that.
Prankster Speed Control is just better than most things.
As Grimmsnarl has taught us, it's really good.
Grimmsnarl has taught us it's really, really good. On the opposite side of Prankster, what about these what good dark types are there?
What about them?
I just want to see what we got. Umbreon. Umbreon's probably really good.
Tyranitar.
Honchkrow's probably decent.
Crawdont hits really hard.
Yeah. There's your Sharpedo.
Weavile also hits pretty hard.
Spiritomb's probably decent too.
I have been very underimpressed with it so far in mine.
Really?
Granted, the first 2 weeks I didn't bring it because it didn't feel correct. And then the last 2 weeks I haven't had my matchup played. And like I planned on bringing Spiritomb to both of them, and I haven't been able to play either match.
Yeah. I think Spiritomb's better in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, like for sure. Just like there's less fairy types running around, fairy coverage is harder to come by, so you don't have as big of weakness just staring you in the face.
I almost died to Cynthia's.
Goodness.
Like, alright, cool. Girafare's gonna set up Calm Minds on it. And then I go, +1 to Calm Mind. It does 75% to me. I'm like, oh no, I'm dead. I am very, very dead.
It still has decent stats. Like, it still has 92 attack and special attack, and then 108 defenses. Like, it's still gonna get you.
Like, alright, I really, really need this Dazzling Gleam to KO. And it does like 60%. I'm like, we are very dead.
We are in trouble. So yeah, there's good dark types running around. Spiritomb, Tyranitar, obviously, Umbreon.
Houndoom's not the worst.
Houndoom feels like 2 roles. It's like, here's this dark type, and here's this fire type, and Unnerved's actually kind of cool in this format, because Unnerved means that you just turn off, like, half the items in the game.
I didn't know Mighty Anna had access to Moxie. Too bad it sucks.
Too bad it's terrible. No, that's not to say it's like you can't have Mighty Anna switch in, pick up a KO, and then just go to town.
Like... Your move pool's not awful.
Like, pick up a KO with Sucker Punch and then just smack them.
Yeah, it's not the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Sucker Punch then means your crunches are KOing. Yeah, alright, fine. I don't hate it. Also, Yawn.
Yeah, Yawn's kind of cool. Snarl's really cool. You can do, like, Black Glasses.
It's just like Worst Evil.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's just worse Thievul.
Sucker Punch is cool. Yawn is cool. You probably want access to Protect if you're playing Yawn. So probably Sucker Punch plus Snarl. Cut Crunch.
Yeah, unless we're Moxie. And then
I think you're probably gonna do Intimidate.
Like, you want to be Intimidate things, right?
No,
like,
Carl, we want to be quick feet. Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast.
Yeah, this set seems
cute.
Fine. It still seems like worse Thievul because you're slow.
But we don't have Thievul's not in the format, so what are you gonna do anyway?
Yeah. Base 90 attack is nothing to scoff at. And then we can do Adamant, put some speed in.
What's the speed we need? What's the
109?
break?
109
There
is
it
the
is.
number we want to get to.
Oh, too far.
Beautiful. Now you outspeed your uninvested Rotoms.
Yep. Bam.
Nailed it.
Cool. Okay.
I don't think this set's very good.
No. No.
I will not be playing it this week.
No. So yeah. That was fun. Like, this is all just, like, before we even done the tier list, so we have no idea, like, where Evans placed things initially.
But what's great is now we can go in, and the mod team is obviously going to listen to this. Also, congrats to Sweet for having another child.
Tobias is cute.
Absolutely adorable.
We just got off track.
Sorry, I do that. I have a tendency to do that. Like, the mod team's going to be listening to this, and so
hopefully
they're going to go in with, like, hopefully similar ideas to what we're thinking.
Yeah.
And, like, can rank things appropriately. And obviously, like, we did not cover everything.
Yeah,
There's,
no.
Almost 500 Pokemon in this game. Granted, not all of them are going to be on the tier list, but there's a non-zero amount that are.
Yeah, like, in these limited formats where the power level's lower, more things are viable, which is cool.
For sure.
And that's kind of why I liked Sword and Shield so much. It's just like Dynamax helped bring the lower Pokemon up. So, like, you got to play with cooler stuff. And this is kind of doing the same thing. It's just like, you took out all the power creep from Gen 5 up. Here's all the fun stuff from, like, Gen 1 through 3 that you can play with now and not have to worry about, like, Megas or Z-moves or Dynamax or anything of that stuff.
Speaking of busted things that Dynamax helps out, did I tell you that Delibird won Week 1 MVP?
Yes.
It's so good. And now there's a Christmas event out, so I can go shiny hunt it.
So yeah, go get your shiny Delibirds.
Need to knock it off, man.
Nope.
It's too early.
Nope.
What else? What else you got, man?
I'm excited for Pokemon Legends Arceus. They gave us a new trailer. It had the characters, like, there's the shop people, and
I saw something, and I haven't watched it.
So
I saw people floating stuff around on the old Twitterverse.
So they showed, like, it was something like after the indie showcase or whatever it was, or around that time. Here's the shopkeepers. One sells all the berries and other consumables. One sells other stuff. One looks to stay in town. One looks to be like roaming around the area. So that's kind of cool. And then there he showed off the Diamond and Pearl like factions. So there's Adaman, which is like the head of the Diamond faction, and then there's Iridy, which is the head of the Pearl faction. They've got something going on, like they have tents out in the wild area. It wasn't anything like crazy cool. It's just like, here's characters, no one cares. Like you didn't do any kind of cool teaser like you did for Voltorb. Voltorb was cool because it's like you teased it and got to play with us a little bit, and then here's characters. Here's NPCs you're going to talk to like 3 times, maybe. Most. So, I'm excited for the game, though. Go fill out your survey so you can win. I can give you a copy. Come on. You got till the end of the month. Go fill it out.
My buddy just texted me. He's like, hey, I'm going to be home the 29th. Can I drop that Coliseum bonus disc off to you?
There you go.
My Christmas break is going to be shiny hunting Jirachi. But I don't get a break, so...
I was like, what's a break?
So he's like, yeah. He's like, do you need the GBA cable? I'm like, yes.
Please.
I do not own that.
You need the Game Boy player?
For that, I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you just plug and play.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll figure that out when it happens.
Let's see, I've got it. I've got the Game Boy player.
I don't. I want one.
They're really expensive now.
Yeah, they are. They are stupid expensive.
I am sitting on a lot of money.
Especially if you have the disc for it too.
I got that too.
Yep. That's a pile of money.
Yep. It's just a pile of money just sitting, gathering dust out in the living room.
Hooray!
Hooray! I think that's it. You ready to get out of here?
I guess, man.
Got anything else? Anything you want to say before we do our outro?
I'm gonna get a shiny Jirachi.
Oh my god.
It only takes like 10 minutes an attempt, Carl. What are you complaining about?
More willpower than I got. Let's get out of here.
Yep, for sure. So, as always, everyone, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you're not listening on YouTube, what are you doing? Go listen to us on YouTube. It really does help us out.
Yep.
Go hit that sub button.
We're at 308 subscribers. Would love to get more.
For sure. Let's see. You can always follow us on Twitter at LR Lessons, myself at Mr. Missouri25, Carlos at Musical VGC. You can also follow us on Twitch at Mr. Missouri25 and at Musical. I'm going to be starting Blue Kaizo sometime this week. Hopefully.
Maybe
it might actually be tomorrow. So if you're watching this, I've probably already started.
Yeah.
And let's see. You can always come and follow us on Discord. Come join our Discord. It's great. It's how you can interact with us and play on our draft leagues and fill out the surveys and have a chance of winning a copy of Arceus.
Yeah, would love to just give... You don't necessarily have to be like active in the server. Just come hang out.
For sure. For sure. We have plenty of lurkers and we have just as many people who are constantly active.
Yep.
So there is not a moment in the day where there's not someone on there to talk to.
Yep.
Let's see. Past that, we have our website. Go check it out. You can also check out our merch store where you can find out all about our fantastic products. I know we've had
shirts and stickers, and we've got cups for those that drink coffee and tea.
And we were going to do hats, and then they said no, and Carl said, screw it, I'm not fighting with it.
Yep, I'm not giving him more money. I can't afford to do that. Every time we want to send something in, I can't spend $5. That's not going to fly.
Which I didn't realize was a thing until you mentioned it.
Because it is a third-party program.
Hooray.
Because they don't do those in-house. They send those out somewhere.
Fantastic.
So it'll probably be a little while since they failed the first one. We'll have to go back to the drawing board. It takes time because I have to follow their guidelines, and I followed their guidelines, and they said it was wrong.
But did you, Carl?
I did.
Yeah, that's fair.
I have the template up and everything. I'm just like, nope, they didn't like it. Okay.
All right, I don't know what I did wrong.
I'll have to scrap this one.
So, I think that's everything.
Twitter, Twitch, Discord, YouTube, website, merch, Anchor support.
That one.
There you go.
If you're really interested, as little as 20, 25 cents an episode, you can always support us It really does help us and, motivates us to make a little more content, make better content, all that good stuff. So if you're interested in that, that link's down in the show notes. Go check it out. And yeah, greatly appreciate everyone who does do that.
I think that's it.
I think that's actually everything.
That's actually everything now.
Cool. So, thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you later this week with some more laddering and some deep dives and all that good stuff. So, have a good one. Peace.